Hello developers and coders, thank you for watching this video, and if this is your first time here, my name is Eleftheria and we are going to continue working with FreeCodeCamp regular expressions challenges. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I will leave in the description box the challenges I've been doing for FreeCodeCamp, and the first did the flex box, then the grid, and now I started doing the regular expressions. If you think this is going to be an interesting video, then just please like and subscribe. Are you ready for this one? Alright, let's do it. Now we are going to continue with Match Anything with Wildcard period. Sometimes you won't or don't need to know the exact characters in your patterns. Thinking of all the words that match, say a misspelling would take a long time. Luckily, you can save time using the wildcard character, which is just a dot or a period. The wildcard character, which is the dot again, will match any one character. The wildcard is also called dot and period. You can use the wildcard character just like any other character in the regex. For example, if you wanted to match hug, ha, hut, or ham, you can use the regex hi dot to match all 4 words. And then we also have an example. Now complete the regex and regex so that it matches the strings, all this like run, son, fun, pan, non, and bon. Your regex should use the wildcard periods. Okay, so I'm going to change the second line, and I think that I have to use the dot and then the un, as all words are ending with these 2 characters. So this is correct, and this was an easy one, so I think that I'm going to continue. Match single character with multiple possibilities. Ooh, I like that one. You'll learn how to match literal patterns and wildcard characters. Those are the extremes of irregular expressions, where one finds exact matches and the other matches everything. There are options that are a balance between the 2 extremes. You can search for a literal pattern with some flexibility with character classes. Character classes allow you to define a group of characters you wish to match by placing them inside square. For example, you want to match bag, big, or bag, but not bulk. You can create the regex, which is the BAUYJ, to do this. And then we also have a big example here. Alrighty. So then we have to use a character class with vowels in your regex, which is Vowel Regex, to find all the vowels in the string, and the string is called sample. Okay, so let's just first go to the second line, but I will have to use the vowels, I guess, and I will do it like this one. So I'm going here to add in square brackets the vowels. I will not need the comma, so I'm going to delete these. Probably I will also need these 2 flags. Okay, and then in the third line I will need the vowel regex. Okay, but first I'm going to need the quote sample. I just copy and paste it, and then I will need, of course, the match method, and inside the parentheses I'm going to have the vowel regex, and let's see if that's correct. Well, it's not correct. Just have here 2 brackets, which I obviously don't need, so now it is correct. Yay! Alright, let's continue with the next one, which is match letters of the alphabet. You saw how you can use character sets to specify a group of characters to match, but that's a lot of typing when you need to match a large range of characters, for example, every letter in the alphabet. Fortunately, there is a built-in feature that makes this short and simple. Inside a character set, you can define a range of characters to match using a hyphen character. For example, to match lowercase letters A through E, you would use A through E. And again, we have this example, and we have this line here that I guess will help us a lot. What we have to do is to match all the letters in the string quote sample. Note, be sure to match both upper and lowercase letters, which means that we'll have to use the I and probably the G flag also. So in the second line, I'm going to have the A through Z characters, and then in the third line I'm going to have the alphabet regex, but first I need the quote sample. Alrighty, I'm pasting it here, and then I'm going to have the match method. I'm closing the parentheses and I'm gonna test if it's correct, and it is correct. So you're able to continue with the next challenge, which is match numbers and letters of the alphabet. Using the hyphen to match a range of characters is not limited to letters. It also works to match a range of numbers. For example, 0 through 5 matches any number between 0 and 5, including the 0 and 5. This is something that you have to remember. So closing brackets include the first and the last number. Also, it is possible to combine a range of letters and numbers in a single character set. And we have this example. And again, the my regex, I think we're going to have something similar in our case. So it says create a single regex that matches a range of letters between H and S and a range of numbers between 2 and 6. Remember to include the appropriate flags in the regex. So the first thing I will have to do is to use the flags. The next thing I will do is to add HS and 2 to 6. So I have open and closing brackets and then HS 2 6. Okay. And in the third line, I'm going to have the quote sample. I'm going to paste it here, and then the match and the closing parentheses, hit Ctrl and Enter and test if it's correct. And is it? Well, it should be. No, my regex should match 17. It's S and not Z. Okay, this should be correct. I will not use the space, and this is correct. Where third time is a charm one, right? Let's continue. Match single characters not specified. So far you have created a set of characters that you want to match, but you could also create a set of characters that you do not want to match. These types of character sets are called negated character sets. Well, interesting name. To create this character set, you place a caret character, which is this thing here inside the parentheses, after the opening bracket and before the characters you do not want to match. For example, this vowels thing with the negated character set GI matches all characters that are not a vowel. Note that characters like dot, exclamation bar, etc. and white spaces are matched. Hyphen, the negated vowel character set only excludes the vowel characters. Alrighty. So create a single regex that matches all characters that are not a number or a vowel. Remember to include the appropriate flags in the regex. Alright, let's also try this one. So in the second line, I'm going to have my closing and open brackets. And then inside there, I'm going to use this caret with 0 through 9. And then the vowels, like I'm going to copy this. Okay, and then I'm also going to have the flags in the end. Okay, and then I will also have the quote sample. with the match method, and inside there I'm going to have my regex. So control enter, it is correct. I'm happy for this because it was a weird one. And let's continue to the next one. Match characters that occur one or more times. Okay, so you can use the plus character to check if that is the case. Remember, the character or pattern has to be present consecutively. That is, the character has to repeat one after the other. For example, A plus G would find one match in ABC and return A. Because of the plus, it would also find a single match in ABC and return double A. Okay, you want to find matches when the letter S occurs one or more times in Mississippi. Write the regex that uses the plus sign. Alright, I'm going to the second line, and I'm going to have the S, then the plus symbol, and in the end I'm going to have the G. Now in the third line, I don't have to do anything, it's already done for us, so I'm just control and enter, and we are correct. Let's do one last challenge, and the rest of them I'm going to do a separate video because I think this is getting too long. Match characters that occur 0 or more times. So before we had the plus symbol, but now as far as I can see we have the asterisk or star symbol. We have an example with Let's Go Regex, and what we have to do is to create a regex that uses this character to match all upper and lower A characters in 3 quotes. Your regex does not need flags, okay, and it should not match any other quotes. Alright, so let's go to the second one. Since I don't need flags, I'm going to have both AA, and then I'm going to have the asterisks. Okay, control enter, and it is correct. I hope, guys, that you watched the video, that you liked it, and if you did, please share and subscribe. I'm still working on regular expressions, so I don't know everything, but I find this course very interesting, so stay tuned for the next one, we are going to continue with more complex regular expressions. Have an amazing day!